Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Vancouver Rain Draft Glory franchise mode here in MLB The Show 23. So in last episode, we kind of had a pretty long off season, and we also had the rest of the year 8 season sim. And yeah, our team is definitely coming together quite a bit. Obviously, we do have to give out some big contract extensions in the upcoming offseason. I am going to be trying to give Giancarlo Sixto a big extension in this episode, just because obviously he is going to be a crucial piece to this team being a contender in the future, I think. So we're going to be locking him up probably to start this episode if we can. And obviously we're also going to be making some adjustments to some player potentials, which I actually already went ahead and did based on some comments. So let's actually go over those comments first before we get to everything else we're going to be doing in this episode. So the first one is from Nick Bacher Barons OC. He says the team is coming along and the stars are starting to shine and the duds are starting to reveal themselves. And then he gave me a list of potentials to change, which I already went ahead and did. So he was basically saying to give +3 boost to Ken Robert and to Ray McMahon. He says +1 like potential to Michael Chu, Sammy Gomez, and Darren Ponce, and then -3 to guys like William Halpern, Ron Francisco, and -1 to like Josh Groves, Fletcher Hoffman, and Kurt Kellenberger. So I went ahead and did those ones. Those are for the guys that are in our system at the moment. So as you can see, for example, in Double A, there is a few changes. Like Ron Francisco dropped, I think, to a C potential. I think he had B potential before, maybe not. But the major one here is William Halpern. He has dropped from A potential to B potential because of that, which kind of makes sense because he did have a terrible year last year. So if he has a rebound year, he could be back up to A potential easily. But right now, he's not looking like he's going to be an A potential player unless he develops quite well for the next few years and stuff like that. So we went ahead and made those changes already. And then also Nick had some MLB changes. So he wanted +3 potential to Bill O'Donnell and Dennis Lake. And then he wanted +1 to Giancarlo Sixto, Gary Steiner, Jack Birch, and Ozzy Cardenas. So I went ahead and did all that. And then -3 to a couple players on our roster that you guys will probably tend to agree with, which I agree with, is to Gary McAllister. So Gary McAllister is only doesn't have a super high potential. He's already 27, so it kind of makes sense for him in that sense. And he hasn't been that great of a player either for us. And then there's also Jeff Pipp, who also got a -3 because he just hasn't been that player that we thought he was going to be. And yeah, he just had a really terrible year by comparison to his first season. Like, his first season wasn't actually super good either, I would say. But obviously he did drop off after that injury, it seemed like, last season. So if he has a rebound year this year, maybe he'll go back up in potential. But for right now, this guy's not looking like he's going to be that great of a player for us down the road. And we also did a couple -1s to Steve Schneider, Todd Goss, Lindsey Raymond, who we didn't even draft, and that's pretty much it. So those were what Nick suggested, and I do agree with a lot of those. Hopefully you guys do too. And like I said, if you guys have any suggestions for upgrades and downgrades throughout the season, we could easily do some of that. Now we got to get into the last two comments, which are from Krazig. The first one says, I would turn down the simulation injury slider, so let's go ahead and do that. Just because the simulation injury slider is a little bit high because we are suffering quite a bit of injuries, I feel like, in franchise mode. So he says to move it down move it down about half of where it starts and then test that. So I don't know where all these injury settings are. Let's see if we could find it because I have not looked for this before. Because I thought the injuries wouldn't be that much of a problem. Gameplay and simulator injury frequency. Let's put this down to half of what it is currently. So let's do to like right here. And we'll see how that is. And if that is too much, like too little injuries, then we'll obviously up it a little bit more. But let's try that out for now. And we'll see if those injuries happen less often, which is good because... Actually, I don't want to save that as my own slider. Yeah, that's good. Perfect. And then we also got the last comment from Crazy Quidge. He says Cardenas definitely deserves an upgrade for being insanely consistent. And I didn't actually have to upgrade Cardenas. For some reason, his potential jumped up to an 89. So I am going to leave it as that because I feel like an 89 is good for him. But he is very close to being on the cusp of an A potential player just based on how consistent he's been since he has joined our team back in 2026. So... yeah, I'm very excited to see what he could do this season. But let's get into that major contract extension with Giancarlo Sixto. The other guys, I'm going to wait till the offseason because I think they're much younger. But Giancarlo Sixto, I wanted to see if I could get him on a 10-year deal, similar to Garth Howe in a sense, but obviously it might be a little bit more expensive considering he's not a pitcher, but we'll see if we're able to get him on a 10-year front-loaded deal, which means he will be signed for an extra year after Howe's contract ends, but both these guys will be on the team for at least another 9 years, which is good, so they'll start to drop off probably by the end of these contracts, or they might even drop off sooner than that. But I do want to have these guys both locked up for quite some time because I know that we need to have them in order to probably win a World Series, because Sixto is definitely our best player in a sense. Like, Hardenius is also really good, but Sixto is definitely going to be that guy that takes us to the next level. So trusting in him for a long term, I think, is a good idea. So let's see if he accepts 10 years at $290 million, which is an average annual value of 29 million. I'll see if I can actually send him that offer, which I hope I can. If not, I might have to wait till the off season. But 10 years at $290 million, will he accept this? I cannot afford this at this point in time. What's the max I could offer him? I might actually have to wait till the off season. I think the most I could offer him is $27 million a season, so I have to probably try and offer him like 275, somewhere around this. See if he'll accept that. I can't afford that still. Yeah, I might have to wait till the off season to sign him. I might have to, because I'm not doing a backloaded contract. So, unless I go less term, but I don't want to really go less term than 10 years. Yeah, I think I'm going to wait till the off season on him, I guess, then. Because we have one more year technically for arbitration, but I think we'll sign him for like 10 years in the off season, and then he will never be a free agent, hopefully, again with this team. So yeah, I'll wait, I guess, on him since we don't really have the cap space to kind of, well, we do have the cap space, but I guess we don't have the budget and resources to give guys long-term contracts right now at this point. So I guess we'll wait, which kind of sucks because I wanted to do that to start the season, but it doesn't look like I can. So let's advance to the regular season. I already did send down guys that needed to be sent down, I think. So let me just make sure our lineups are pretty much set for double, triple, and of course for our MLB teams. So let's see who is not in the lineup. We need a left fielder out there, which obviously Gary Steiner would probably be the best option for that. So I'll just put Gary Steiner into that spot. We do also need a left fielder here, so once again we'll go to Steiner. Actually, why is Sixto on the bench? I think we actually, let's just have it auto fix or whatever, because I don't want Sixto obviously being on the bench. There's no way he's going to be a bench player. But yeah, let's do our due diligence once we get through these 3 games and set up our scouting method. Let's go auto fix lineups and auto fix that and auto fix that. And we were 2-1 to start the season, so we actually won our first 2 games of the year, so that's pretty nice. Garth Howe gets the victory in the first one, and Gary McAllister wins the second game, surprisingly, with a really good stat line, so that's actually pretty good. Hopefully that keeps up all year, which I don't think it will. So let's get our scouting set up and how we want to scout out everything. So we were going to have our one scout, which is the one guy we just signed in the offseason, this John Coe guy. He's going to be assigned to pitchers in each region for 3 weeks at a time. And then the other 2 are going to be focusing on infielders and outfielders. So John Coe, we are going to assign you to starting pitchers in the West for the first 3 weeks. Then we'll swap over to Central, East, and International. And hopefully he can find us some good pitchers, because we know every draft usually has really good pitchers. So we definitely need to find that one stud pitcher if there is one out there. Hopefully this is a draft that has a like 99 potential kind of guy that's a high overall too, because that would be great. Because we've been dealing some pretty bad draft classes. And then these other 2 guys are going to scout individual players in the infield. And maybe there's a good player in this draft. It's hard to tell right now at this stage. But we are going to just scout out random infielders with the other 2 every week. So Ramon Calzado, who looks like he might be the number 1 overall pick. Let's scout out him, especially considering he could be an 81 overall, which would be nice, and 99 potential, but maybe he's not that good. And then we'll scout out with the other guy. Let's scout out Ted Dodson. Might as well. We'll scout out a couple players, and hopefully we find a decent amount of players throughout the season in the infield that are good. And hopefully our scouting pitcher, or not scouting pitcher, pitching scout, not scouting pitcher. What am I saying? Our pitcher scout can find some pretty good pitchers for us over the span that he's scouting out each region. So There's that. Let's go auto on that, auto on that. And let's see how we do in our first week here. We have actually already 4 wins, which is not bad. 4 and 5. Might be one of our best starts yet. How are we in terms of scouting these guys out? Pretty solid so far. Both of them look actually pretty okay, but they might not be that good. Who knows? Let's keep on scouting them out so they're fully scouted. We will be changing the general scout for pitchers in about another week after this one. Auto on that, auto on that, and that's good. 6 and 9, not too bad, I guess. I mean, it's a better start, I think, for sure than prior years. Like, you can see that our rank in terms of, like, contact and defense and speed, those have improved. Our power and pitching and stuff like that's still not super great, but hopefully that turns around eventually, too. So Calzado is solid, but I wouldn't say he's, like, an insane player. Dodson's nothing huge either, so that's kind of sucks. We might have not a great draft class ahead of us again, so let's get out the center fielder. He's already 23, so there's hypothetical chance that this guy's a high overall because he's 23. So we'll scout out him. We do need a center fielder maybe of the future to play with Sixto in the outfield. We'll also scout out this center fielder too. There might be actually a good center fielder in this draft based on there being a couple in the first round. It's tough to tell. Let's do one more week and then we will change the scout's location for the pitchers. Let's auto fix that. Oh, Trevino's been injured. At least it's only 1 to 2 weeks, but we'll go auto on that. Pretty much auto on everything for the most part at this point. And we are now 7 and 14. Obviously not doing too well, but that is okay because hopefully it means a better draft ahead. Hey, look at that. So Richard Manning is going to be pretty good, but he's already 23. That's my only problem. He is between a 69 and a 74 overall, and he's going to have a high potential, like a B to an A. But that's the only problem is he's 23. So I don't know if I would want to take him with the 5th overall pick because we do have the 5th overall pick in this draft, but we'll see. Maybe we'll find some other good players ahead still because we do have a lot of scouting still to do. Let's get out that left fielder, might as well, Michael Tippett, and this guy will still get scouted out a little bit longer. And we will change our region on this to Central for the next 3 weeks. Hopefully this scouting method works out pretty good for us in terms of getting a general sense of this draft class. Nice, we had a 3-game winning streak there. That's actually pretty cool. We are 11 and 16, so doing actually much better than I thought so far. Like, I think our most wins in a season was 55, so I think we are definitely on pace to at least have a 60-win season this year, which would be good. So, gotta always take a step up every year. Just keep getting those guys scouted out. We'll go to the end of this month. Yeah, 13 and 18 in our first month is not outrageously bad. There's 2 more wins to start the next month, so that's good. We're almost at 500, surprisingly. This guy still needs to scout out for 1 more week before we change his location. These 2 need to be scouted out, or changed a little bit. Both of them are okay, but Tippett's looking like a project player to me. I'm not liking this draft class, though, right now, at least in terms of infielders. There doesn't seem to be any super crazy good players. Like, once again, we might have a little bit of a weak draft class ahead. It's tough to tell, obviously, at this stage, but I am not too sold on it so far from what we've seen. Miguel Castro, he might be really low overall, but let's get him scouted out as well. I feel like there's going to be a good outfielder in this draft, though, just based on the amount of center fielders and left fielders in this first round. I just feel like there's got to be a good outfielder. 16 and 23, so kind of fell off a little bit that week, but that's okay. Let's change our scouting assignment, I think, already, right? Yeah, I think already we need to change this over to the east, and we'll have these guys get scouted out a little bit longer. Hull's going to be maybe a project player, but he might be a solid guy to take if we have the chance. Because we have 5th overall, which means we might have a chance to get somebody good still. Because some of the AIs always take really bad players, as Steiner's now been injured. Let's go auto on that. Okay, 18 and 27. 100% scouted on Hull. Hull's going to be pretty good. I honestly might take Hull. He's actually, based on our scouts, he might be the best player in the draft. So I think if we get the chance, I think I would take Hull right now. Just based on that, because He might have a low overall, but he might have a super high potential, and he's only 19, so that would be great, I think. We obviously have more players to scout out still, but he's looking right now at least like my favorite pick of this draft. Unless there's a good pitcher out there, which we have not looked at the pitchers yet that we've scouted, but we will at the end of this episode. Ooh, okay, Rob Kinder. I hope you're that good. I hope you're that good. Let's get out him for sure, because we do need a shortstop prospect, and he might be the guy. He might be the guy. Might be the one that we need to get out. Let's go another week. We do need to still go 2 more weeks before we change the pitcher scout's location. There's 2 more wins that week, 20 and 31. Yeah, I think we're starting to kind of like at least improve a little bit. Obviously, it's not too much of an improvement, but at the same time, we're kind of gradually finding ourselves up there a little bit better. So we probably won't be the worst at every single thing. Oh, Rob Kinder's not going to be that good. Damn. Yeah, he looked like he was going to be good, but he looks like he's not actually going to be pretty trash. He might be still okay, but he's not going to be insane. Let's swap out Castro here, see if we can find anybody else interesting that I didn't scout out yet. We could also look later in the draft, too. Let's get Jose Bautista scouted out. Why not? With the last name Bautista, you know. It's spelled different than the one that played for the Blue Jays, but still, you never know. Let's go 1 more week with this current setup, and then we will take a look at changing that other scout out again. 21 and 37. Yeah, we're definitely falling apart here a little bit, but you can see with like our depth chart and for a sense right now, we actually have a good second base, a good first, a good closer / relief pitcher, a good left fielder. A lot of the other positions are not so good, so that's maybe where we need to stress the most. Yeah, Rob Kinder's not good. Damn, that was such a lie. Somebody's still going to probably take him early on, and then they're going to make a really bad decision with that pick, based on what I gathered at least. Greg Owens, might as well scout out you, and we'll change you to international for the last 3 to 4 weeks, pretty much. Let's go this week and see what we got for wins. There's 2 wins in a row, 3 wins in a row. Okay, 4 wins in a week. That's actually not bad. 25 and 40. We are still quite far up back of like the Rangers and whatnot for second worst in our division, but I still think we're definitely taking a step up from last year because we're only 30 wins away from hitting our most wins in a season already, I think, at this point. So that's a good sign. These 2 guys are looking okay, but probably not worth a top 5 pick, at least at the moment. Let's go another week. There's a win again, and a lot of losses afterwards. 26 and 45. These guys are fully scouted out. Yeah, they're okay players, but they're nothing I would take in the first round. Like, if they're there in, like, the second or third round, maybe I would take them, but yeah. I don't think this is going to be another good draft class. It might be an okay draft class by comparison to the prior years, but it's not going to be a one that we wanted to have. Like, I don't think there's going to be a 99 potential player in here. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, but let's go to the later part of this draft and see if we can find somebody that might actually be really good. That wasn't projected to be that good. That's in the infield with these guys. Let's see. Do we have any 99 potential guys that would be infield? Maybe. I just want to find like a crazy steal here. Closer, third base. Let's get this Japanese guy. I would assume he's Japanese, right? Yeah, Japanese guy scouted out. Might as well. For another week. I think we're very close to the draft already. Auto on that. There's another win. We are 28 and 49. It's not crazy. We got 1 more week to scout out, so let's do the 1 more week. Or we actually have 2 more weeks to scout out, I think, technically, but we'll go to the end of this 1 week. And that is basically as far as we could scout out. Actually, there is still 1 more week, technically, but that's as far as we'll go in this episode. So let's cancel these scouting assignments here and see what we got in terms of players. We'll actually leave that guy still doing his general scouting, but let's take a look at what we have already scouted out in this draft. So team rank wise, there is Mason Hull, who is going to be probably a pretty good player for the future, but as of right now, he's probably not going to be a super high overall. He does have a lot of interest, low bonus demand. He could be interesting. He does have 3 maybe future well above average things, so he's going to be a solid player, I think, in the future, but I don't know if he's worth the 5th overall pick. Then we have this guy who's scouted out a little bit. We don't know for sure if he's actually that good, but he's a pitcher that might be insane. Who knows? He might be good to take. I don't really know. It's hard to tell considering these guys aren't fully scouted. We need to look at the 100% scouted first, I think. There's also Ramon Calzado, who we know is going to be maybe between a like a low B and a high B potential player. I don't know if he's going to be that good, but there's that. There's Castro as well for outfielders. There's also Senzel. There was Thomas Pelero, who's not fully scouted out yet. There is Richard Manning still. I think I still do like Manning, but I just don't like that he's 23. That's the only problem. Because that means he's going to be retiring quicker than normal. So, or probably. This guy hasn't been fully scouted out yet, but he might be solid, but he's already 22. I'll just skim through this a little bit, and maybe I'll see something later when I'm editing this video, but as of right now, I don't know if I have like a unanimous #1 pick to take in this draft. There was that one guy I was looking at before, but I don't know where he is. Obviously, some of these guys we still need to scout out fully. Like, if you guys see anybody that's 35% scouted that I should scout out for the last week, let me know. Because then we can maybe at least get them closer to being confirmed than what they currently are. 69% scouted. Yeah, see, I wouldn't take any of these guys early on. Because based on our scouts, most of them think that these guys are supposed to go, like, 2nd round. But, I feel like there's definitely going to be one at least good player, but I don't think there's going to be, like I said, I don't think there's going to be an 80 overall player out of this draft. It just doesn't look like that type of draft. But you never really know. You never really know. I just hope that we find at least one of the better players in this draft. Even if it's a weaker class, hopefully we find one of the best players in it. Because, like, the last few drafts have been pretty terrible, but if we could at least still get one of the best players in the draft, at least that's somewhat solid. Who was the guy that I was talking about earlier, though, that I was interested in taking? I don't even remember who it was, because I don't... Was it this guy? It could have been Hull. I don't remember if it was, though. Let's just go to all prospects so we can kind of see this a little bit better, maybe. Let me actually go to starting pitchers for a sec, see what we got for starting pitchers based on the general scouting. So, Osuna. We also got Floyd, who's 22. Some of these guys that are pitchers might have good ceilings, but it's really tough to tell because we haven't fully scouted out most of them. This guy's 45% scouted, but he might be a low overall. Yeah, I don't really know what I want to take in this draft or what the other teams are going to take before us, because obviously some of these guys might be off the board by the time we get the chance to take them. So there is that. And yeah, positional need-wise, obviously, I think the needs we have most are probably, I would say probably shortstop is definitely a big one. Right field's probably one. Third and first and relief pitchers and all that type of thing needs to maybe improve a little bit, but it's hard to tell if that's actually what we need or not. Let's take a look at our player stats as well to end this episode, because I want to see how everybody is doing on the team at the moment. So in terms of our pitching, Garth Howe is having an incredible year. He's up to a 96 at 25. Well, okay. And he's 7-2, so he has a winning record for the first time in his career. His ERA is much better than it's ever been. His WHIP is a little bit higher than last year, but still really good. And his FIP is really good, so he might be up there right now as a Cy Young candidate. It's hard to tell. We'll have to take a look at the award potential winners, but I think he's definitely up there for the Cy Young based on the record, but not sure on the ERA and all that. Gary's improving too. His 7 wins and 7 losses is pretty good. He has dropped in overall, which is a little bit concerning, but he's got not a great ERA. His WHIP is pretty good, and of course my controller just died, so let me change my batteries. Okay, as I was saying before my controller decided to die, his WHIP is actually pretty good, but the ERA is a little bit high, but everything else, win-loss ratio is okay. I actually didn't take a look at the quality starts. I should probably do that as well. He's improving from last year for sure, but I would still say he's not outrageously good, but at least he's improving. 17 games started, 9 quality starts, so like half of his games have been quality starts. So that's at least something positive. I didn't take a look at Garth Howe's quality starts. He has got 17 games started, 11 quality starts. Garth is the man. Then we go down to Lindsey Raymond. He's not been good, but then again, he's not really an MLB pitcher. Todd Goss has been absolutely terrible, but I don't know why he's in a starting position role, because he's a reliever. What the heck is he doing there? Oh my goodness, why is he doing there? There's no reason for him to be used as a starter. That's not what I wanted. Why does the game do that? Why does the game do that? There's no way he should be getting used as a starter. I mean, he does actually have 47 stamina, so that's okay, but I don't know why he's getting used as a starter. At least he's growing overall wise. How has he actually been though? 16 games started as a reliever, only 1 quality start, so yeah, he's not been good. So I definitely need to change that up so he's more of a reliever instead, I think. William Montero has been absolutely tragic, and yeah, this guy is not good. He's growing overall wise, which is kind of a surprise, but 16 games started, he's had 4 quality starts. Yeah, that FIP is disgusting. Oof. Yeah, he's not been good. We go to our relievers. Most of them have not been good. Ken Roberts actually been struggling this year too. He got put into the lineup and he dropped an overall because of that. That's not good. Yeah, he's not been super good. I should probably use him as a setup guy, but I don't know why he's being used as a mid reliever. Let's just change that around a little bit. And then Rubel we took in the Rule 5 draft. He has not been super good either, looks like. Jack Birch is doing okay, I think. Let's see. He's actually doing much worse than last year. And then Dennis Lake is having a rough time this year. He's developing, but by comparison to his last year, actually the FIP is good. So it must be just the team in front of him. It must be. It must be. That's my guess. Let's take a look at our batting stats as well right now so far. So, holy crap. This is why I wanted to lock up Sixto already. He's batting at 293 this year, so better than last year. 7 home runs already. Not on pace for a crazy amount of home runs, but 31 RBIs. A little bit of a down year in the sense of OPS and whatnot, but he is still doing really solid, so I do like, obviously, Sixto. Pinheiro has been really good this year. He's up to a 73 now. He's already got almost as much home runs and RBIs as last year. His average has improved a lot. His OPS has improved. Pretty much everything has improved for him this year, so that's good stuff. Oh man, Ozzy's having an insane start to this year. Oh my. His 18 home runs is more than any other season except for last year's, so he might have a 30 home run or close to a 30 home run season. Who knows? But he is off to his best start yet. Also, RBIs are up there crazy. His batting average is a 307. And the OPS is very close to being probably up there in top 10 in the league, maybe. He's having a great year. He's been probably even better than Sixto in that sense. Jeff Pipp, let's see how he's improved. Okay, he's added the same amount of home runs as last year. The RBIs are a little bit down. The average is much better than last year, and the OPS is better than last year. So I'd say he's definitely improving this year, but it's not still where I thought it would be. Cuero doesn't matter much. Bill O'Donnell, he is growing as well. He's almost got as much home runs as last year. His RBIs are pretty solid. The average is less than last year, but the OPS is okay. It looks like he's having still an okay year, but yeah, at least he's improving. And how much steals does he have and whatnot? Because he's a fast guy. He has stolen 7 bases at this point. How much extra base hits? 16 doubles, 3 triples. That's good. Ollie Gentleman is having an incredible season. He is all of a sudden just breaking out completely. I know he has like a high potential too, like 99 potential, I think. He's already got his career high in home runs and almost getting up there in RBIs as well. His average this year has improved drastically at 278. The OPS has improved drastically. And the WAR has improved drastically. Yeah, Ollie Gentleman's having a great year. And he's going to want probably a lot of money. And then Steve Schneider is improving as well. His home runs are getting up there, which is good again. His RBIs, not so much. The average is the best of his career, which is not saying much. OPS is the best of his career right now. And the WAR is probably the best of his career too. So he's improving. And then Trevino has been really good as well. Definitely improving from last year. 7 home runs, 21 RBIs, so almost career highs in a couple stats. His batting average is good. His OPS is good. And his WAR is good. So pretty much a lot of players are stepping up, which is huge. Gary Steiner's been more used as a bench guy, which I don't know why he's getting used as a bench guy, but he's almost, he's improving. His average, not so much, but he's improving, I'd say, in some categories. I want to use him as a starter, but the only thing is I don't know how we could get him into that spot. So there's that. Buster Crosby took in, I think, in one of the Rule 5 drafts. He's not been that good. Fletcher Hoffman's been getting used in the MLB, which I'm okay with, considering he doesn't have much of a potential anyways, but he has been okay. He's got a home run and 8 RBIs, so at least he's getting stuff at the MLB level. But there is that. Quickly, let me take a look at league leaders for a second. I just want to see if any of our guys are up there. Cardenas is up there in hits. Gelman's up there in doubles, just behind Bubba Thompson. Cardenas is up there in home runs. That's not what I expected to see. He's only 6 home runs behind Nolan Gorman. So he's coming out of nowhere with his power game, and his RBI game is also up there too. I don't think he's going to win like the most RBIs in the league, but he's going to be close to it if he has a good second half. But he's just had a great year, and that is exactly what we want to see. Garth Howe has like the least amount of losses almost in the league right now. His ERA is also the number 8. Strikeouts, Garth Howe is number 1. That's pretty cool. He's Gary McAllister's up there in complete games again. Yeah, some of the stuff is looking actually pretty good. Gary and Garth are both up there in whip. I don't know if any of them are going to be up there for awards, but still, let's take a look at the award leaders right now. See if any of you guys are up there. Yeah, Garth Howe is actually a Cy Young candidate. He's behind Roger Robbins, who's insane this year. Jeez. Yeah, this guy's probably going to win it, maybe. I don't know. And then George Kirby. But Robbins has a 2 ERA. Yeah, I don't know how these guys are that good, but yeah, at least Garth Howe's getting consideration already at this point. Anybody else up there for awards at the moment? Just curious to see if any guy has a chance this year. Doesn't look like it, which is kind of surprising. Sixto will be up there for left fielders for Gold Glove, as he normally is. And we also have Cardenas up there for Silver Slugger. So there is that. And that's going to do it, guys, for this episode of our Vancouver Rain Draft Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to another draft. We'll see what we're able to grab up. And yeah, also very excited, obviously, for the episode after that to see what this team could do this season. Obviously, we are having maybe one of our best seasons yet in terms of like player development and also winning more games than usual. So it should be interesting to see how we wrap up this year, and hopefully this is starting to be a trend where we're starting to win more and more games each season. So anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.